have a theory. What if life as we know it is one giant loop? As you see in a video, is of it zooming out from the Earth into the universe and the galaxies and everything like that. And we know that the smallest particle is an atom. So what if when you're zooming out, you're really zooming in? Because you're just one big, large body, but when you break you down to your cells on a molecular level, you just get this reality again. Look at this video. Like, isn't that what it looks like when they show the body? Like, look, watch this next part when they get out of, look at that. Nerves. Does that not look like nerves? How is that our universe? It is us. We are the universe, literally.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Once again, we have another amazing creepy TikTok that will really mess up your mind. So no wasting time, let's get the video, guys. Let's watch.
Dimension explained. Do the exercise. We're going to say rock star to ourselves without opening our mouths, without saying anything outside. We're going to say this to ourselves. We're going to say rock star to ourselves. Don't say it out loud at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now the question to ask, if you've said rock star in your mind, the question to ask is, what voice is that? What voice is that? What voice just spoke? You just said rock star without moving your mouth at all. On top of that, you on top of saying rock star, you heard yourself say rock star. How can you hear yourself say rock star and no vibration of sound has happened? See, this puts a different perspective on what sound actually is. And what memory is. Memory's not in the brain, memory's in the soul. The only thing you take with you after this life is your memories or your knowledge, your experiences. That's the only thing you take. Unless you study Egypt culture, they believe you can take all their stuff with you on the other side. Just as a side note. But if you said rock star in your mind or in your being is the true answer, is the true statement. In your being, what was that voice? What was the voice that spoke and then you heard yourself speaking? But these ears did not hear you say anything because your mouth didn't move. So the ears didn't hear it, the mouth did not move, but you spoke and you heard yourself speaking. If you close your eyes, you can see this better.
Wow.
If you close your eyes and put this image in another sight, if you close your eyes, you can still see this. What is the sight that can see your future? These two eyes don't see the future. These two eyes don't see the past. Yet, you can see your past and you can see your future. You can actually see your past. What is the sight that can see beyond time? Don't give it away. What is this? Is an ancient meditation. This is an ancient meditation that I am not the flesh. I am the energy, the consciousness, the being in the flesh. And this is proof. This is no faith. This is not religion. This is actual fact. You can speak without moving your mouth. You can hear without ears. You can see without eyes. So what happens when these eyes, this mouth, and this ear drops off into the grave? These other senses are all you're left with. Death is an illusion. Once you realize this, you live your life more courageously. Now, no one wants to die before their time, so you try to protect yourself. But know that this body is the limitation of you. It is not your zenith. It is not your ultimate. Your ultimate is that voice that just said rock star.
I am so...
Oh my God, the guy has really spoken so deep. You know, so the fifth realm, right? So as I said, when it comes to we seeing, we speaking, and we using our other senses. So it means that we are the energy, right, within it. The flesh is just a cover up, just a skin, right? But the actual you, the actual me, we are within the flesh. So if we can talk without using the flesh, that's our mouth. Hear without using the ears. See better without the eyes. That means the actual you is within you, right? And it is really, really deep, family. I believe the guy has really spoken, and there's a need for us to think deep into what he said.
tired of talking about woke culture. Free speech is not some right-wing reframing of whatever. It's the foundation of Western civilization. The only way to deal with the problem of racism is to treat people on the content of their character. And the fact that woke culture seeks to overturn that is a new form of racism that we must all oppose. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational arguments, so let me make one. We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in particular, and that issue is climate change. We're told that many of you suffer from climate anxiety. You wish to save the planet. And for tonight, and tonight only, I will join you. I will join you in worshipping at the feet of Saint Greta of climate change. There is only one thing we can do in this country to stop climate change, and that is to make scientific and technological breakthroughs that will create the clean energy that is not only clean, but also cheap. And the only thing that wokeness has to offer in exchange is to brainwash bright young minds like you to believe that you are victims, to believe that you have no agency, to believe that what you must do to improve the world is to complain, is to protest, is to throw soup on paintings. And we on this side of the house are not on this side of the house because we do not wish to improve the world. We sit on this side of the house because we know that the way to improve the world is to work, is to create, it is to build. And the problem with woke culture is that it's trained too many young minds like yours to forget about that.
Oh. Guys, I never expected this video. Oh my God. I think you know what I'm thinking, guys. Oh my God. This is my thoughts. Oh, now let me know at the comment section, what do you think the man did to the lady? Let me know your thoughts, guys.
The most scary real stories that shock you. In 1920, an 8-year-old girl named Elizabeth disappeared in a small town. She was last seen in an old park near her house playing with a doll. The search lasted several days, but no trace was found. The residents of the city were terrified. The investigation continued for several months, but no evidence was ever found. However, a few years later, a strange rumor appeared. It was said that the doll that belonged to Elizabeth was found in the forest, and at night you can hear children laughing and crying. People began to avoid the forest and began to call it the Forest of Lost Souls. One day, a local hunter said that he saw a figure in the forest that looked like a girl in a white dress. He tried to catch up with her, but she disappeared in the dark. Since then, no one else dared to enter that forest. They say that the girl's soul remained there, and now she wanders through the forest, looking for her doll and trying to find her way home.
What makes you so convinced that Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone?
Well, I was in the infantry. I saw men blown away. I saw them by rifle blast and by bomb. You know, I resort always to the basics, like common sense, your own eyes. There is this wonderful document called the Zapruder film that shows you the time frame and shows you what the shots were doing, step by step. And we estimate the people in the community 5 shots, maybe 6. And you show in the kill shot, Kennedy is going back and to the left, very clearly. The shot has to come from the front because he reacts, he goes back. And now they've put scientific coding on it and called it all kinds of things, but that doesn't work. Nor does the magic bullet, the single bullet that wounds Connolly and Kennedy 7 times. It doesn't work at all. It's a ridiculous bullet. When you take those 2 incidents alone, plus the autopsy of Kennedy, which is bizarre because most of the witnesses saw a huge exit wound on the back of his right skull. Huge. They described the cerebellum falling through the skull in the Parkland Hospital. And later on, when he gets to Bethesda and the illegal autopsy is done, controlled by the military, the back of the head is repatched. And all the photos since then have been... And the people who actually saw the head go and they look at the photo and say, that was not the head that I saw. So it's a bizarre story, but those... call them 3 major points. Make
Will we ever know the truth?
On August 20th.
Yeah, so this is the problem. Why is the military hiding the truth from us? Why is the government hiding the truth from us? Is it a good thing? Because at least we need to be in the known of this, isn't it? We have to know the facts. We have to know how he died, the truth. Because if you conceal the truth from us, then what is the government trying to insinuate?
25th, 2001, 22-year-old R&B singer and budding actress Aaliyah died along with 7 others when the plane they were in crashed. But was this a tragic accident or a well-thought-out scheme perpetrated by the very people who were supposed to be protecting her and helping her in her career? Now, Aaliyah was extremely talented from a very young age, and I think one of the things that the public is now realizing more and more is that often child stars are heavily taken advantage of. That seems to be the case with Aaliyah, as when she was just 11 years old, she signed onto her Uncle Barry's record label, Blackground Records. A couple years later, Aaliyah's first record dropped when she was just 14 years old, and this record would go on to sell 3 million copies, so depending on the deal, her uncle is already making millions of dollars off of her. But most disturbing is the name of the record, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Now, this is no accident. Aaliyah's family had basically sold her off to none other than R. Kelly. Uncle Barry called R. Kelly to come hear Aaliyah sing, and he did a lot more than that. And impregnating Aaliyah, then marrying her when she was 15. Because he had gotten her pregnant, he and the family thought that it would probably keep him from getting in trouble if they got married. R. Kelly helped write and produce this first record, so it's rather clear that he was trying to cover his own ass and get across his own disturbing agenda through her. Now fast forward to August of 2001. Aaliyah was shooting a music video with director Hype Williams in Miami. Then after the production had already started, Hype and Uncle Barry decided the production needed to wrap in the Bahamas. Just 4 days before Aaliyah's tragic death, her uncle, Barry Hankerson, signed some kind of agreement to protect himself from any kind of lawsuits if anything were to happen to Aaliyah on set or during the trip. And Barry wound up receiving $90 million through insurance payouts after her death. Aaliyah was known to be an anxious flyer, and apparently, due to her stress, friend Lenny Kravitz sent a private jet to the airport she'd be departing the Bahamas from. But the day before she left, director Hype Williams took the private jet for himself and left her and her entourage there. The plane that Aaliyah ended up boarding was not rated to carry passengers. It was literally a cargo plane. When she saw the plane, she basically threw a fit and said absolutely not, but she did have work to do, so she'd need to make it work somehow. According to taxi driver Kingsley Russell, who had gotten a job on Aaliyah's team in the Bahamas as their baggage handler, he was there and saw Aaliyah basically refuse to get on the plane, then saw members of her team give her a pill, and then later saw them loading her unconscious body onto the plane. The plane was hundreds of of pounds overweight, and not only that, but the plane was loaded unevenly, which means it would be extremely difficult to control in the air. And the pilot had lost his license and had both alcohol and other illegal substances in his system. So was this truly a tragic accident where Aaliyah was just in a bad situation because the people that were supposed to be managing her, who should have been treating her like royalty, I mean, at this point she had been making them millions for almost a decade, and they just treated her like dirt and used her all up? Or was it a coordinated effort to make sure she never made it home from that trip because they knew they were going to make a ton of money from the insurance claims?
Her death really still it's a shock to some of us because we love her song so much. But for the video we just watched from, let me know your thought on this. Was she just, was it a setup, just to end her life, and make money off her, or it is just a normal, coincidence? Let me know your thought on this because this is really a mystery, guys.
Hello, so I got a story time, and this is something that's been on my mind pretty much since it happened. So this is the story about the time my teacher turned into a reptilian. So this happened when I was in elementary school. I was pretty much, I was a very non-conforming type of kid. I had a God complex as a kid.
So meaning she was already woke when she was very young.
And I did not conform to none of the school teachings. I would reject it, and I would pretty much debate with my teachers with everything. So one day, I was debating with my teacher, and she was teaching us about the 7 continents. And I had a fit. I'm just like, no, it's not 7 continents. It's more, you're lying, this and that. And that would just go on. It would go on. Every time she would teach, I would debate her. So one day, another teacher come in. We're going to call her Miss L. Miss L would come in, and she would take a few students from the class who needed special help. And she would read with us one-on-one and stuff like that. She was a very, very sweet lady. Her energy was so warm. She was so nice. She was a sweetheart. So one day, Miss L was reading to us, and we were reading with her, we were all reading along.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, she just got up, and she was like, "You guys continue reading." So we continued reading. She got up and she went on the other side of the class, and on the other side of the class, it was a tall drawer with files in it. I don't know if y'all remember that from school. It'd be tall drawers and this mini drawers with different files in it like that. So she went on the side of that. And the way my desk was made, I could kind of look over and I could look through the crack and take a peek. So I didn't care. I had no shame. I was a kid. I was looking at her, and as I was looking at her, I saw her face, her body, everything about her was just changing. She was malfunctioning or something. She was malfunctioning. And I'm looking at her she looked like a lizard was what came through my mind. So I'm like, the hell, basically. So then she caught me looking at her, y'all. She caught me looking at her. And when she caught me looking at her, it was just we locked eyes, and she was just looking at me, and I was looking at her, and I did not look away. I was really trying to make sense of what was I seeing. Okay, so for part 2.
So what if he's really alive, family? What if he was never killed, but he's really among us as today? Either changed, maybe they've made surgery or something, and his makeup has been changed, but still working among us, family. This is another conspiracy theory, guys. But let me know your thought on this.
I have a theory. What if life as we know it is one giant loop? As you see in a video, is of it zooming out from the Earth into the universe and the galaxies and everything like that. And we know that the smallest particle is an atom. So what if when you're zooming out, you're really zooming in? Because you're just one big, large body. But when you break you down to your cells on a molecular level, you just get this reality again. Look at this video. Like, isn't that what it looks like when they show the body? Like, look, watch this next part when they get out of, look at that. Nerves. Does that not look like nerves? How is that our universe? It is us. We are the universe, literally.
The darkest conspiracies in the world. The hollow earth theory. Rooted back in the 17th century, when Edmund Halley proposed the earth is actually hollow due to changing magnetism. The North Pole is a gaping vortex that sucks down to the central fire where it's heated and shot out the south. The theory goes further, suggesting there might even be a civilization living down in the hollow earth. Real or fake? Hit the plus sign to unveil the mystery.
Did AOC just expose the ways of getting elected and how big cause influence
I'm
lawmaking?
going to be the bad guy, which I'm sure half the room would agree with anyway. And I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interest, even if that means putting my interests ahead of the American people. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn. Oh, and by the way, I have enlisted all of you as my co-conspirators. So you're going to help me legally get away with all of this. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn, I want to run. If I want to run a campaign that is entirely funded by corporate political action committees, is there anything that legally prevents me from doing that? No. Okay, so there's nothing stopping me from being entirely funded by corporate PACs, say from the fossil fuel industry, the healthcare industry, big pharma. I'm entirely 100% lobbyist PAC funded. Okay, so let's say I'm a really, really bad guy. And let's say I have some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up so that I can get elected. Mr. Smith, is it true that you wrote this article, this opinion piece for the Washington Post entitled, "These payments to women were unseemly, that doesn't mean they were illegal"?
Well, I can't see the piece, but I wrote a piece under that headline in the Post, so I assume that's right.
Okay, great. So, green light for hush money. I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off. And that is considered speech. That money is considered speech. So I use my special interest dark money funded campaign to pay off folks that I need to pay off and get elected. So now I'm elected, now I'm in. I've got the power to draft, lobby, and shape the laws that govern the United States of America. Fabulous. Now, is there any hard limit that I have, perhaps Mrs. Hobart Flynn, is there any hard limit that I have in terms of what legislation I'm allowed to touch? Are there any limits on the laws that I can write or influence, especially if I'm based on the special interest funds that I accepted to finance my campaign and get me elected in the first place?
There's no limit.
So there's none. So I can be totally funded by oil and gas. I can be totally funded by Big Pharma, come in, write Big Pharma laws, and there's no limits to that whatsoever.
That's right.
Okay, so awesome. Now, Ms.
Guys, this is serious. She has really exposed so many politicians and presidents.
Mr. Marabani, the last thing I want to do is get rich with as little work possible. That's really what I'm trying to do as the bad guy, right? So is there anything preventing me from holding stocks, say, in an oil or gas company, and then writing laws to deregulate that industry and cause, that...
The reason why...
Wow, family, this is serious. Now, she has really exposed so many presidents, and she has also exposed so many ministers that are in power today. So they are just there, they were funded by, these big companies, and then there's a deal that they have with them. So because they are funded by them, when they come in power, then they will set regulations and rules that will favor these big companies. And there's no law that stops this. It is just freaky, guys. Very freaky.
My skin is this way is because I'm genetically branded, and so are you. You're genetically branded. And no matter where you go, you find the same story. You find a particular type of a being ruling over people that kind of resemble them. Now, this is interesting. Could race be a result of a particular gene from the people that ruled over a region of us on the planet? And here's what I found out. Geneticists discovered that there's a 2% variance in genes between races. In other words, what makes me a person that's dark-skinned with more melanin in my skin than you who's more fair-skinned with slightly less melanin in your skin is not because my ancestors, were in the Sahara Desert working in the desert underneath the hot sun all day. And that's what they teach you in school. The reason why my skin is this way is because I'm genetically branded, and so are you. You're genetically branded. Why? The person who ruled over us gave us a brand, just like they brand a cow and say, "Oh, that's Farmer Jim's cow. Don't touch them." You see the brand right there? Well, when these people spread out around the planet to rule over different regions, they genetically branded the people they ruled over to resemble them. And that's why Asians look different, and Caucasians and Africans. And they said that a 2% variance would take multi-millions of years to happen in natural evolution, and yet it only happened in 200,000 years. So it tells us something interesting, that this is an artificial mutation. Let us make man in our image.
Wow, family. So let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Is it really true? Are we branded or not?
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound, an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Never.
Wow, this was spoken by the UN, guys. This is serious.
This little girl is hiding under her bed, even though her mother had strictly forbidden it, because under the bed hides a skinwalker. But she did not listen, and look what is behind the little girl. The skinwalker got caught on its own because now we see a human falling, and when he gets up, he's an animal. I will show you the rest of the videos right away.
Wow.
But before that, know that I can only protect my subscribers who have commented their names, liked, and watched the video until the end. If you click on share and you see a blue application, it means that someone is spying on you. This woman suspects her dog is a skinwalker, and this has been the case for many videos she has been able to film. We are arriving at the scariest part of the video, so if you're too scared, you can swipe away. If you're still here, comment the word spooky. This man kept hearing increasingly strange noises next to his house, and unfortunately, a few days before, his dog had disappeared. He wanted to find it, but on this dark night, he managed to distinguish the eyes of a skinwalker or a wendigo. He is not yet sure which one took his dog.
This video has been published on the dark web with the title, "The Dark Web is the Only Truth." In this video, we see a man celebrating his birthday, but nothing scary. But in the description, it says that this man would be 171 years old.
Wow.
And that he would have undergone several experiments to get to this point. What do you think?
Growing up to 171, it's just amazing, family. There are few people on earth that are even up to grow above 100 years. But this woman has reached 171. It's just a blessing to reach that very age.
Escapes with a second to spare.
Wow.
Hey, yo, man, open up the door. Excuse me. Excuse me.
A scary moment.
What's going on, guys?
For a woman entering her apartment when a man tried to force his way in. He wasn't successful, but Amber Cogliano says the woman is sharing video of the moment in hopes of teaching other people ways to stay safe.
A terrifying moment. A panicked woman is desperately trying to get into her apartment before it's too late. A creep bolts down the hallway, coming right for her. She escapes with a second to spare.
Hey, yo, man.
The drama unfolded at 2 in the morning when the woman arrived home from a long day at work. She says she noticed the stranger lurking outside her building in the Bronx, New York. You can see him go up the stairs.
Yeah.
She's apparently unaware that he's right behind her. Once inside, the suspect takes off after her. She gets inside in the nick of time.
Open up the door. Excuse me. Excuse me.
The lucky woman with the red hair and her family are so terrified today, they did not want their faces shown.
At this point, she wouldn't want to go outside to work or anything because she's scared this will happen again.
Can you believe the doors to the building were unlocked that night and remained so when Inside Edition was there?
It's the moment of vulnerability we face every day. You're outside your home, your keys are in your hand, you're about to open the door, anything can happen.
Security expert Manny Gomez offered some important safety tips.
This is an alarm. It could save your life. It's very easy to use. You just pull it.
Oh, that's loud.
That's right. It's loud. It'll act as a deterrent.
Old-fashioned pepper spray, I see you have.
Old-fashioned pepper spray as well. It's been around for decades, and it works really well. You just flip the tap and put it into somebody's eyes. That person will immediately have a negative burning sensation reaction, and it'll give you time to escape and evade that assailant.
He also showed me a self-defense technique.
You could grab and knee to the groin, fingers to the eyes, chop to the throat.
Hopefully you will never find yourself in a crisis like this.
Hey, yo, Mitch.
The woman says her guard is now up. Her family is keeping a close eye on her whenever she does leave the apartment.
So this is how so many people tends to get killed, because there's lack of security. So I love the tips that the security expert give. I believe it will really help us so that we can have or live very safe life. This doesn't happen just to male, also female as well. It happens to everyone.
Hey, can I help you? What are you doing?
And I like.
Hi. What can I do for you? Joe, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Are you trying to get in? You want me to call the police on you? What are you doing? Joe, I'm calling the police. Creepy thing.
Whoa, but what does it want, right? So why is it opening someone's door? Meanwhile, at the your door.
It's found inside the...
Assalamualaikum.
Oh.
何かいるんだけど。
भाई ओए ओए वो आ गया अरे यार भाई इसलिए मैंने आपको मना किया इस रास्ते से रहने दो आज भाई हम दो भाई हैं निकलो यार भाई तुझसे भाई निकलो यहाँ से क्या करें
What's that thing, guys?
हमें जाने दो भाई ओके भाई भाई
Whoa, it disappeared.
उन तरह फिर गायब हो गई यार
Baby. Baby.
Oh.
There are hidden subliminal messages everywhere. So check this out. You got Balenciaga. Alright, so Baal and C. Aga. Look what it means. Baal is the king.
Oh.
Alright, known as the Lord of Destruction. This is a false god that they worship. Alright, we got Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Alright, we'll translate that one. Nickelodeon. I don't care about God.
Wow.
Nickelodeon.
So every time we heard that as a kid, there was a subliminal message being planted in our subconscious mind. Right, this is because words cast spells, right? Spelling. Right, the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Right, we look at Taco Bell, it doesn't look too suspicious right now, but you're looking at a reptilian eye, or the eye of Horus. Right, they're letting us know who's really running the show behind the scenes.
Wow.
Right, we all know Disney. Right, there's a hidden message in the Disney logo, 666. Right, and then we do Disney, means to the gods. Right, we know that we have one God, and the Bible says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right, they worship false gods. Right, here's another one. We got Monster Energy. Right, this is what a 6 looks like in Hebrew. Right, there's 3 of those on the Monster Energy logo, right? 666, or Vav, Vav, Vav. We know the number of the beast is 603 right, or 666. And notice how they have a cross, right, in their logo. So when you point that upside down to drink it, you're pointing an upside down cross at yourself. I could go on all day with these. The message is, watch what you're putting in your eyes, what you're putting in your ears, what you're putting in your mouth, what you're eating. Because there's witchcraft and spells everywhere. And I just pray right now for all of you watching, that God gives you the true discernment of what to stay away from. And I just pray for spiritual protection over you. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you guys.
Brother.
Don't forget to like and follow for more truth, and I'll see you all in the next one.
This is serious, guys. You see, when it comes to these symbols, I believe they speak a lot. They are trying to portray, idol worship right before our eyes through logos, through brand names. And the video that we just watched really exposed a lot to us. So let us be careful what we wear, what we put in our mouth, because at times as we take in them or we use them on ourselves, we are making ourselves unclean using these things.
Here, another conspiracy theory that you probably don't know is going to blow your mind.
Let's do it.
The day before 9/11, the day before the attacks, Rumsfeld gave a press conference where he talked about trillions of dollars missing. The day. Then a plane slams into the very part of the building where they were doing the accounting.
Wow.
Blows up half the fucking building in the Pentagon. Blows up a wall. Donald Rumsfeld was on, where was it, the White House lawn? Listen to this.
This is like 10 minutes, but it's at the Pentagon. This is on C-SPAN. You can look it up right now.
We got to get to the quote where he says,
He mentions $2.3 trillion in mystery.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see.
What it already spends.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
2.3.
Wow.
Okay, now, again, somebody told you that literally, like right before 9/11 happened, they said they couldn't track $2.3 trillion. You'd go, no, that didn't happen. That did not happen, but it did happen.
What the fuck?
Yeah, think about what you saw when you saw that Vice movie, where Dick Cheney, who was the CEO of Halliburton, becomes a vice president and gets billions of dollars in no-bid contracts.
Okay.
Now think about what we just saw with Donald Rumsfeld saying they couldn't find $2.3 trillion. I don't know where it went. I don't know. It seems like we should have had it. So we'll keep looking. Oh no, the spot where we looked just blew up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, family.
What the?
So it is clear that, guys, Donald was just killed, right? It was just a conspiracy killing that just went there, guys. I believe they conspired because he revealed that this huge amount was not accountable. So that is another story out there, guys. But anyways, thank you very much for watching and watching to the end. You are where I love you so much. So drop us a like, subscribe, so that I can drop more videos like this. See you guys and have a love. Remember, stay woke, guys. Read a lot, drink more water, and eat what is right. Bye.